Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. You gotta love the forwardness of Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, especially now that the lawsuit against him and Chris Larson have been dropped, now that XRP itself has legal clarity, because despite the fact that the SEC v. Ripple case isn't all tied up in a bow, not quite yet, obviously still in the remedies phase of this trial, and hopefully within the next several months or so, there's some sort of finality on that. Even so, that's why it's so interesting to see with this thing not completely wrapped up for Ripple. Yep. Fine, XRP holders, we're feeling good, we're in the clear, not tied up for Ripple, and still we have Ripple calling for the Biden administration to demand the resignation of Gary Gensler. Now, this happens on a very interesting day, because the Biden administration, at 5 o'clock on a Friday when nobody's paying attention, vetoed a bill that was pro-crypto. It was actually repealing some nonsense that the SEC had set in place. So I'll get you all caught up to speed. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so this morning there is this post from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. He shared this story from The Block. The headline is, Biden campaign ramps up crypto industry outreach in surprising tone shift. And folks, I've remarked on this quite a bit over the last couple weeks because there has been, literally for 2 weeks, this complete tone shift where all the years leading up to this point, this administration has been completely anti-crypto, but now they're talking very differently and making connections with people in the crypto industry. So Brad Garlinghouse, obviously anybody would welcome that. Now, is it real? Is it some sort of facade? Is he, is his administration trying to make sure that voters don't leave him? In which case, probably too little too late. Well, regardless, we'll get into more of that in just a second, but here's what Brad Garlinghouse said while he was sharing that story. He said, if the Biden administration is actually serious about a shift and finally waking up to the crypto electorate, the single most important thing they can do is demand the resignation of Gary Gensler. I love the tone shift from Brad Garlinghouse because I don't know if you guys remember, but in the earliest of days, when Gary Gensler, actually maybe before he was even, maybe it was right after he was just nominated and he wasn't even officially the SEC chair yet, but Brad Garlinghouse was publicly speaking with optimism, which I think is the right thing to do from a professional perspective. Obviously the lawsuit had already come down. If you can make friendly relations with the new guy coming in, sure, that makes all the sense in the world, but it's just so fun to see since Gary Gensler has just proven to be the worst thing possible for crypto, the 180 in speech from Brad, and obviously he feels like it's okay to do, and he's right, it is okay to do it, now that the charges against him have dropped, and obviously XRP has legal clarity here. So let me run through some of this, and then we'll get into the part where tonight at 5 p.m. on a freaking Friday, they veto this pro-crypto repeal of what the SEC had put out, which is just sneaky. You understand that the intent is it's 5 p.m. on a Friday. People are going off for the weekend. They're not going to be paying as much attention to the news. It's not in the typical Monday through Friday news cycle because it's at the end of a Friday. And just drop it there and then hopefully just drop this bomb. Then nobody's going to even notice, right? Well, I'm not so sure that's going to work because the people in crypto, we're pretty in tune to what's going on. And so this is just amazing to me. So anyway, this first piece reads as follows. And this is so funny because it does look like a bunch of, catering. It's all it is. It's phony, like catering to crypto purely for votes, right? And so here's what he did. This is how the story reads. President Joe Biden's re-election campaign has begun reaching out to cryptocurrency industry players seeking guidance on crypto community and crypto policy moving forward, sources with direct knowledge of the matter told The Block. The outreach marks a significant shift from Biden's previous arm's-length dealings with the industry, according to several sources who spoke on the condition of anonymity, citing the sensitivity of the discussions which are ongoing. The engagement effort, which started about 2 weeks ago, comes as Biden's camp increasingly recognizes the impact crypto-related issues could have on a presidential race that is likely to be close sources told The Block. So, folks, and this is exactly what I've been saying for the longest damn time. And I do believe that this race, take for what it's worth, between Biden and Trump, I think it's going to be particularly close. That would be my best guess, just for fun here. And there is no anti-crypto voter block, but there is a pro-crypto voter block. So, as I've been saying, the Biden administration has foolishly, at least from a political perspective, foolishly been catering to a voter block that does not exist. It's stupid as hell. And they are now realizing that. But it does seem like too little too late, doesn't it? The damage has been done to this point. So anyway, piece continues. As part of its outreach, the re-election team has called several crypto experts, including some industry players Biden rebuffed on previous occasions, one source said. The Biden campaign did not immediately respond to the bloc's request for comment outside of normal business hours. The campaign's newfound engagement with digital assets experts comes shortly after crypto advocates opposed the Biden administration's plan to veto the repeal of SAB 121, a controversial crypto legislative measure criticized for potentially discouraging financial institutions from providing crypto asset custody services. And I've highlighted that before. It's what's on your screen right now. Here you can see at the bottom. This is dated May 8th this year. If the president were presented with HJ Res 109, which is the SAB 121, he would veto it. So he already promised to. He already promised that he would do that. And then right after this, what happened after this? What happened after this is the House passed the bill that would pull back SAB 121. And although most Democrats, not exactly pro-crypto, there were enough that decided to stop towing the party line that it passed the House, and then it actually passed the Senate. So that's the part that I think Biden wasn't expecting to happen, because he put his foot down on this on May 8th. He didn't expect it to pass the House and then pass the Senate, but it did. And so I'm assuming at that point, once that happened, he's like, crap. Because they already realized, like, the political winds, they're becoming more clear to him at this point. Like, okay, we got to pander. We got to pander to these crypto folks, the people that like the fake internet magic. But we got to cater to them. We got to pander. And so they have been. It just makes me kind of wonder, as far as SAB 121, and I was talking about this over the last couple of weeks. I was like, is he really going to veto this thing? Because I was like, I wouldn't take it off the table. In fact, I'm kind of skeptical that he's going to let this thing go through, because he kind of put his foot in his mouth on this. Anyway, and then the piece says the change in tone follows the Trump campaign's May 21st announcement that it would accept cryptocurrency donations, along with former President Donald Trump's recent pro-crypto and anti-CBDC remarks at the 2024 Libertarian National Convention. And so that's certainly true. Trump made it very clear that he is going to definitely embrace crypto, because he recognizes it's a losing proposition not to. Okay? So what happened, though? Because it was just this morning Brad Garlinghouse said, hey, if you're really serious, Biden administration, and you're sending out signals to the people in the crypto industry, well-known individuals, industry players, you're serious about this, let's change the course, well, then you should get rid of Gensler. That's what Brad Garlinghouse said just this morning. And then what happens? Well, here it is, 6:33 p.m. Central Time, which is my time zone, and Brad Garlinghouse wrote the following. He said, well, after only a few hours, this post didn't age well. To say that this is incredibly disappointing from this White House at an incredibly pivotal time is an understatement. And what is he talking about? He's talking about the aforementioned veto which I referenced at the start of this video. So here's the latest headline. And of course, 5 p.m. on a Friday, sweep it under the rug. Nobody's looking here, right? Well, let me tell you, people in crypto, we know. We are paying attention. Here's the headline from The Block. Biden vetoes bill overturning SAB 121, says standard necessary for crypto innovation. This is completely absurd. Let's just go through the bullet points. I don't need to read the whole article. First one is U.S. President Joe Biden vetoed a bill to overturn a controversial Securities and Exchange Commission bulletin, SAB 121, establishing accounting standards for firms that custody crypto. Bullet point 2, appropriate guardrails that protect consumers and investors are necessary to harness the potential benefits and opportunities of crypto asset innovation, the president said in a letter to the U.S. House. Now, folks, do you feel protected by this? Because I'm telling you, the net effect of this is that legacy finance cannot custody crypto and offer crypto services to their customers. It shuts it down. This is absolute spin. This is dishonesty. This is not protecting anybody. This is shutting down this aspect of the industry. And it's a big aspect of the industry. That's what this is. Let's not mince words over this. This is absolutely misdirection. This is dishonesty from the White House. Absolutely it is. Third bullet point. The bulletin has drawn controversy over the past year over concerns in the crypto industry that it could prevent banks from safeguarding digital assets. Yeah, that would be correct. So what's actually going on here? You know, because again, obviously the last couple weeks, behind the scenes, certainly, they've been posturing in a certain way, and some of that had leaked to the press. I had talked about it a little bit on my channel. It's like, it seems like the administration here, they're recognizing that this is kind of a bad move, but they still veto this thing? Why are they doing that? Well, I can only speculate that perhaps it's because they're, perhaps worried about looking like he's not a man of his word, if you will. Like, he's not going to stick to the threats that he puts out there as it pertains to vetoes. And if that's it, I mean, okay, but changing your mind on the veto would have been better than enduring the wrath of voters who are not going to be pleased with this. Because again, there is no anti-crypto voter block, but there is a pro-crypto voter block. So anybody that would have thought that you were just kind of weak and caving, and some people would think that, sure, and I would think that, in fact, for sure, absolutely, he would be weak and caving if he changed his mind, just based on the pressure. Okay, yes, and I think everybody could see that, but that would be better than continuing to piss off this voter block. Now, that said, I still think that this is too little too late, and actually they might have even said that in this article. I don't know if I can find it real quickly. It doesn't matter. It might be on the screen right now. It's not worth trying to find this right now on the spot. But so anyway, he did veto this. And so at this point, what happens? Well, the bill goes back to Congress, and the only way to override the veto is to now have 2/3 of both chambers of of both chambers of commerce vote to approve this. So I'm not convinced that the votes are there. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. I don't know if anybody's going to defect further. So this thing is in all likelihood dead. Not a guarantee, but if you can actually pull some more votes, okay. But the reason is there are not enough Democrats willing to be pro-crypto. That is it. Almost all Republicans are pro-crypto, almost 100%. So it is what it is, folks. Call a spade a spade. That is absolutely what's going on here. It is one party that is causing this to be problematic. So just keep that in mind. I'm not telling you how to vote. You vote however you want to vote. I'm only going to talk about politics insofar as it pertains to finance and crypto. Outside of that, I promise I won't ever preach to you. I don't care if you're on the left or the right. I'm just shooting it straight with you here. This is bad for crypto, unquestionably. So just factor that in however you want to. I mean, some people are one-issue voters, others are not. Whatever you want to do, fine. I'm not here to tell you. But be aware of this. Because it's unquestionably true that this guy, this doddering old fool, him being in charge or having this kind of power over this entire industry, the blockchain industry and crypto, it is not in the financial interest of anybody that is in crypto. Unquestionably, that is true. And I think anybody on whatever your politics are, I don't care. I think anybody in crypto would agree with that. That just indeed is the case. So why do you shift? Think about it. So the posturing's one way, and the behind-the-scenes communications is one way, yet he does this. I mean, I'll just say this, and, you could kind of question, okay, does this have something to do with, the current state of former President Trump and his legal happenings, and I'm assuming you've heard what's happened by now. I'm not going to be talking about that on this channel. But I have to reference in here so I can make a separate point on this. Is that why he's going back? Is he going to go against crypto now because that just happened? Reasonable question, but I don't think so. I don't think that's what's going on. I think that he just wanted to stand his ground here, because the truth is, even with what's going on there, this is still it's going to be an incredibly close race. In fact, the news that happened the other day, I don't know if you guys saw, but it actually, in the polls, helped him. It helped Trump. So if anything, he should have that much more reason to go and be pro-crypto, yet he's not. So I think that this is just this one instance, you know, as far as the degree to which this administration is suddenly pro-crypto. No, it's just the political wins. They can see where they're blowing. That's all this is. He's not pro-crypto. Of course not. It's disgusting pandering. Like that's all that this is here. So take that for what it's worth. You guys do whatever you want to do. But, and I don't blame Brad Garlinghouse. He said, well, that didn't age well. Well, no, if you look at his first post, actually, in his defense, you know, he didn't say that the Biden administration would or wouldn't do something. He just suggested, hey, if you are serious, maybe you should demand that Gary Gensler resign. And then the Biden administration hours later is like, yeah, well, President Biden himself, he says, yeah, I'm going to veto this, which is what he said he was going to do. So Brad Garlinghouse is still right. They should demand the resignation of Gary Gensler. So I'm not optimistic for that. Okay, you know, I'm not convinced that that's going to happen. But it's also been fascinating to see what's happened just in, at least, you know, behind the scenes and what's leaked out through the press. It's been interesting seeing the degree to which this administration has flipped at all after years of just being just hammering that. Nope, no crypto. And then the last 2 weeks, when the polls are as close as they are, it's not looking good for him. So we'll just see what happens. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.